Well, it's finally time to bring to you guys the new holster from Carey Concealment, specifically for you competitive shooters, the Bounty holster. Now, the Bounty is an adaptation of our current Squadron Pro Appendix sidecar type system, and I want to show you a few things about it that make it unique for you guys as competitive shooters. Primary 2 points that I want to bring up are the new magnet outside, as well as the new mag carrier for competitive shooters. So the tackwear plastic belt clips that we offer as a factory option on the Bounty holster allow us to drill a hole through one of them and attach one of those ridiculously strong magnets that you guys are used to using on competitive applications. What this magnet's gonna allow you guys to do as shooters is at the match, if you have one of those stages with an unloaded start, you can slap a magnet straight to this thing, even through your t-shirt, and give you the edge on the unloaded starts. The next thing we've got to talk about with the Bounty is, of course, the mag carrier system. Those of you familiar with the Squadron Pro will see a lot of similarities here, but the mag carrier is where the similarities end. So with the mag carrier, we didn't want to go too crazy with the engineering, and that's not true. I actually did kind of go crazy with the engineering, which is why it took so long to release this product. But we settled on a PLA plus 3D printed option. I went through the ringer with engineering grade filaments and further into sintered materials and all kinds of other stuff. But to keep the price point and the production level at an achievable level, we decided to stick with PLA plus, and so far we've had great results with durability, and I have no doubt that you guys are really going to enjoy this. So let's talk a little bit more about the mag carrier and how it can help you at your next match. So what you've got here is 2 sleds for your magazines. There are 2 magnets in each location, as well as 2 keys that will allow you to change the ride height of your magazines. So if you're running a 15 or 17 round mag, you may want to raise those up. If you're running a larger stick, like a 24 rounder, you may want to remove them altogether or move them to the lower location. Now, whether you're running a Glock polymer mag or something like this M&P mag, they're both gonna stick just fine to the mag carrier because there's 2 magnets holding these things in place. Additionally, a lot of you guys are running 2011s now, and of course we're gonna see some of those show up at the belt Bounty. So these mag carriers are designed to accept even 2011 mags. Because this is a 3D printed product, I was able to keep the price of this holster down. In fact, it's very similar to our normal Squadron Pro pricing, and I think that's really important when you consider the purpose of the Bounty holster. A lot of you guys are only gonna do these a couple times a year, and I didn't want you to spend over $200 on a holster system to go chase the Bounty a couple times a year. Now, some of you are gonna be diehard and you're gonna do this from concealment every time, and I get that. This is gonna work for you as well, but I think keeping the cost down and the size minimal was really crucial to making a great holster for the purpose of chasing the belt Bounty. When you select the Bounty holster, you're gonna have 3 different belt clips to choose from. The factory option is going to be the plastic tackwear clips, which will allow you to have the option of the unloaded start magnet that we discussed earlier. Additionally, we of course have the discreet carry Mod 4 belt clips, which are an industry standard for a premium option. Discreet also recently reduced the new 1 series belt clips, which take some of the concepts of the Mod 4 but cut the price nearly in half. So if you want a metal belt clip and you don't think you'll be sticking them directly to sweatpants and you don't need the aggressive tang that the Mod 4s have, then the 1 series belt clips could be for you. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with our Squadron Pro system, the Bounty is very similar to the Squadron Pro in that it is extremely adjustable. Not only can you move your belt clips independently in all directions, you can also move the bridge itself and the holster independently, so you really can get an unlimited amount of adjustment with this system. The mag carrier is going to have 2 height adjustment points, and you can rotate this thing 90 degrees if you like to see your magazines nearly horizontal. Now, the Tegris material we use here on the Bounty is a great option. It's going to give us the rigidity we want as far as our holster and mag carrier not collapsing in on each other, as well as fighting rotation. We want these things to be exactly where we left them on the belt. Tegris does, however, flex in a few different directions, which can add some comfort. Now, with the Bounty, we're not really focused on concealment at this point, and I'll explain a little bit more about that now. So, when I was building the Bounty holster, I was thinking, how important is it to be able to conceal at a match? It's not at all, actually. Turns out you guys are gamers, I'm a gamer. Let's actually make a holster that is great for the sport and less great for the concealment side of things. So when I designed the mag carrier for the Bounty, I threw away the concealment concept and decided to do what is fastest and best for racing, and that is rounds forward design. This is pretty new and pretty unique to the industry, but a rounds forward design on the mag carrier is going to be more similar to what you're used to doing at matches anyways. Traditionally, with a USPSA setup, where our index finger is coming down, meeting the magazine and coming up to the firearm, where normally in an appendix setup where rounds are facing this way, sideways on the belt, we've got to sweep the t-shirt, roll the wrist over, grab the magazine and set it into the gun. Whereas with this setup, the rounds are facing forward. So it's clear t-shirt, you're naturally going to index straight away and throw it in the gun. So it really is a faster and more simple solution, but it is unlike how most of us carry. So there is going to be a bit of training involved with this design. Because these magazines are round forward, this is not going to conceal nearly as well as our typical squadron holster will, but I don't think you guys are gonna mind. Now, in between stages, we recommend running without mags in the holster because it's going to make the entire profile of the holster extremely comfortable and thin for the majority of your day. When it's time to shoot, toss your mags in there, go run your stage, and at stage end, pull these things out so you can walk around comfortably for the rest of the day. Now, I just said that this is not for EDC, but I have to admit, I have a couple of guys that have been running these every day for months. And that's great. That's not for me, but it's pretty hysterical what some guys will do to carry 60-something rounds on them at any given time. Now we've got a ton of different options already baked in regarding holster support. If you don't see an option that you really want to have, let me know because we can always generate new stuff going forward. Holster building really is a popularity contest, and if you let me know what you would like to see, it helps me figure out what I need to be building next. So that's it. That is the Bounty holster. I'm excited to bring this to you guys, and ultimately, I'm excited to see where the belt Bounty takes us as shooters. I've got to give a huge shout out to Hunter Constantine for creating an environment for companies like myself, as well as shooters like you, to really come together and do something unique in the sport. USPSA for me is a very exciting and fun thing that I love to take part in. But honestly, the Bounty is an additional layer above that. And Hunter is, he's injecting into the sport some excitement that wasn't already there. And I'm really, really proud of what he's done so far. So if you aren't already running a Hunter Constantine belt, go give it a look. It is seriously one of the most comfortable belts, if not the most comfortable belt I have ever worn. It does what it claims to do. And this one here is 2.5 years old and showing no signs of slowing down. So absolutely love the Hunter Constantine belt, and I love what he's doing for us as shooters. So support the guys that support you is what Hunter always says, and I couldn't echo that anymore. Thank you guys so much for helping carry concealment this far. More exciting things to come this year, including one more holster launch a little bit closer to Christmas. Take care. God bless.